It's time again for What Happened on My Universe Mode pay-per-view special. It's Extreme Rules. The show took place in Tampa, Florida, and began with a United States title match between Sheamus and Dean Ambrose. And it was Falls Count Anywhere, because it's Extreme Rules. Let's get crazy.
Let me remind everybody, there are no count-out here as long as they like.
As this is a pay-per-view special, we're going to take extended looks at all the matches, as there's only 7 of them instead of the usual 20. But they're all quite mad, because it's Extreme Rules. Look at these ones. Powerbomb on the outside. Crazy. And then Dean Ambrose misses that. Crazy. It came to a point around about here that I thought Dean Ambrose might be losing his winning streak that he'd accumulated over the past few weeks, but he just managed to kick out. And eventually, as he took it up to the north of the ring, he hit his headlock driver and won the match and the US title. Well done, Dean Ambrose. Go master some titties.
How was that? 2, 3. Dean Ambrose did.
Here is your winner and the new United.
The Extreme was toned down a little for match 2 as the Divas title was up for grabs when AJ Lee took on Brie Bella.
Finishing moves in WWE. She dropped.
While not as classic as the match they had on Raw a few days earlier, this could still be classed as 20 times better than any Divas match you'll see on WWE TV. Not NXT TV, but WWE TV. In the end, it was AJ that was victorious, retaining the title, and she hit the Shining Wizard. Of course, that doesn't mean that Brie didn't get some hits in. She almost tapped to this.
Divas champion.
SmackDown would take over for the next 3 matches, and we began that with the World Heavyweight title match. Mark Henry took on Alberto Del Rio in an Extreme Rules match.
Mark Henry won off that. Right in the kisser. And that's why he's the world's strongest.
Now, while we toned down the Extreme for the Divas match, it was turned up only a little bit more for this one. Nothing really extreme happened until they got outside, when eventually a chair would come into play. And they got back in the ring by the time that happened. The end appeared to be nigh for Alberto Del Rio when Mark Henry threw him into that chair that was lodged in the corner. But he came back and eventually started going for the concussion method of winning that he used against Dolph Ziggler a couple of years ago. It wasn't enough though, and Mark Henry channeled his inner Junkyard Dog, tried to put Alberto Del Rio through a table, and then World's Strongest slammed him to retain the world title. The world title match was followed by Organised Chaos, as the Usos defended the tag titles against Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in an Extreme Rules tag match. There were no tags, it was all brawl and crazy, and at some point weapons were involved.
Jey Uso going high risk. Let me remind everybody. Did you see that, Cole? Talk about adjusted.
See, told you there was weapons involved. Anyway, this was much closer than any of their previous encounters on SmackDown over the past few weeks, but unfortunately the Usos came up short again, as while one of them was getting to work on Luke Harper, Eric Warren snuck in a pinfall on the other. New tag champs. In the final SmackDown match of the night, Cesaro challenged Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. in a normal match. No extreme to this,
Big time leg drop.
but it was close.
That must feel. Nice counter by Ziggler. Yeah, now. What shows on television makes a statement. Ouch! And confidence of Dolph
This match was a great example of near falls, plenty of them, loads of them in fact, all through the match. And at no point did you know who was going to win, especially me, who was controlling Dolph Ziggler.
That's it. He's done. Wilkinson.
And then Cesaro kicked out of the zigzag. That pissed me off.
Oh, Dolph Ziggler smells blood.
Dolph Ziggler seemed to be throwing everything he had at Cesaro, but to no avail. He would just keep kicking out of the pinfalls. I didn't know what the hell to do. Then he hit that. Hit that. And then the neutralizer for the win. We had a new Intercontinental Champion. An unplanned one. But I don't care, it's Cesaro, he's still cool. We then went on to some more Extreme Rules. Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton finally got at it, but first they had to knock out the ref. You know, because there's DQs in this match.
Just to try to punish his opponent. Watch it.
This match had weapons, as you'd expect from a proper Extreme Rules match, and it also spent so much time outside that it was more WCW Backstage Assault than WWE 2K15, apart from the better gameplay. But they got back in the ring eventually. The ending of this match was a bit controversial. Randy Orton was smashing him in the corner when Daniel Bryan turned him round, threw his shoulder into the corner post and stomped him. He then went for the pin. 1, 2, I swear I kicked out! But apparently I didn't, and Daniel Bryan won with some stomps to the chest. We have now reached our first pay-per-view main event, and it was Brock Lesnar defending the WWE title against John Cena in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
And his opponent.
Ding ding ding, it was time to go. And, like any true Brock Lesnar John Cena match, it started with a German. The match didn't begin too evenly. Even though John Cena hit a couple of moves, it was Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar.
John Cena, he's owned almost.
And once I'd hit that terrible Paul Heyman impression, John Cena got a bit more of an advantage, and even got a near fall. But just like that, it was gone, and Brock Lesnar was back in control, powerbombing the shit out of John Cena, and smashing him through the guardrail. Boom. Well, it was around this point that Brock Lesnar seemed to have got bored and just started ragdolling John Cena. This made John Cena angry. Just look how angry he is. What did those steps do to him? Anyway, at the end, Brock Lesnar F5'd John Cena through the announce table and won the match to end the pay-per-view on a good note. Fuck John Cena. So that was Extreme Rules. Hope you enjoyed. Tune in next time for What Happened on My Universe Mode.